FIFA World Cup fever.
Thank you, FIFA, for coming to Windsor!
Soccer fans pour into City Hall Square for an official fan zone party. Toxic haze.
This is an invisible threat to the eyes right now. It doesn't mean it's not harmful. It is indeed harmful.
Health officials on wildfire smoke lingering in our area. And calls on Kearney for full transparency.
Just tell us what the agreement is. Just show us what the agreement is.
The PM under pressure to clarify profit sharing and concessions for the Gordie Howe Bridge before its official opening.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Well, it's hot in Windsor today, and not just because of the weather. FIFA fever is burning in the city's core today, with the organization bringing an official World Cup celebration to town for the semifinals. Now, in the center of it all, we find CTV's Michelle Molesky. Now, Michelle, those of us who aren't there, what exactly are we missing?
Yeah, absolutely, Stephanie. You are missing fun in the sun, and a bit of a dance party is happening now right here at City Hall Square. It has been very busy down here in spite of all of this heat. So many folks came down to City Hall Square after FIFA took over the entire area here. And here's the best part. The fun isn't done yet. This whole party is going on until 8 o'clock tonight. I want to show you what's happening in behind me. These are activities. We're seeing soccer teams coming down here, trying all of the different challenges. And for mom and dad, the beer tent is still open. The food is still here. It's a really great event in spite of all of this heat. And that's a good segue for me to bring in my friend Gary. Has got the fans over here. Gary is going to join me now. And Gary, so many people came out today. They were taking every little scrap of shade that they can find, as it is very, very hot out here.
We're melting out here, and unfortunately, the heat is still on, Michelle, for tonight. The overnight temperatures in the mid-20s, feeling like the low 30s. And, of course, we have the heat warning combined with the air quality in the mid to high range. So the AQI index, we want to see it as low as possible on a scale of 1 to 10. We'll be 7+ tonight and approaching 10+ likely through the midweek tomorrow and into Friday, the end of the week. Unfortunately, the air quality situation, as well as the daytime heating, is just making it insufferable at times for those who are outside and can't stay cool. I'll break down the forecast. Next week, we are going to cool down substantially. Some good news on the temperature front coming your way. For now, we'll send it back to you from City Hall Square.
Okay, we'll check in with you in a little bit later on in the newscast. And as Gary mentioned, an orange air quality warning is in effect for Windsor, Essex, as a wildfire smoke from northwestern Ontario moves into the region. Officials say the smoke may not always be visible, but it can still pose a risk to your health. CTV's Sanjay Maur joins us now. Sanjay, what exactly should people know?
And Stephanie, that really is the big message from health officials, that you don't necessarily have to see the smoke to be affected by it. And while some people may notice only a mild cough or irritated eyes, experts say the fine particles in wildfire smoke can still find their way deep into the lungs, and that's why they're urging people to limit their time outdoors. It looks like any other summer day in Windsor, Essex, but health officials say what you can't see may be the biggest threat. An orange air quality warning is now in effect as wildfire smoke drifts into southwestern Ontario. Officials say air quality is expected to deteriorate throughout the day and could remain poor into Friday.
Toronto situation is very bad. You can see that in Hamilton as well. So it seems that that wind brings the wildfire smoke.
The warning applies to everyone but children, seniors, people with heart or lung conditions, and those who work outdoors face the greatest risk. And experts are quick to warn, do not let the blue sky fool you.
Wildfire smoke, we're not seeing it in the same way that regions closer to the fires are. But that doesn't mean that it isn't a problem. This is an invisible threat to the eyes right now. It doesn't mean it's not harmful. It is indeed harmful.
Jane MacArthur says Windsor Essex already deals with pollution from local industry and cross-border emissions, and wildfire smoke only adds to that mix. She says people who have to work outside should limit their exposure where possible, and employers should go as far as to provide well-fitting N95 respirators to help filter the fine particles in the air.
This is something that we're not used to having, although it's becoming increasingly more common. And because this is more and more common, we can't just respond to these things in an emergency, acute way. We have to be prepared in advance. And
health officials say if you're staying inside, keep windows and doors closed as much as possible. Use a high-quality air filter or portable air cleaner if you have one. And if you develop more serious symptoms like wheezing, chest pain, or severe coughing, seek medical attention immediately.
In 2023, we observed a spike in ED visits for those who experience asthma when we had a very bad wildfire smoke. So this is another thing that people might consider.
And while the warning is expected to last through the next few days, officials are encouraging people to keep an eye on the Air Quality Health Index, since conditions can change quickly as the smoke moves through the region.
And Sanjay, as you know, Gary always provides those air quality indexes for us during
That's right. So it's something to watch for throughout the newscast.
Okay, Sanjay Meyer, thank you for this.
Thank you.
So for our question of the day, are you taking precautions due to heat and air quality warnings? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked, is there debate in your household over the air conditioning temperature? More than 600 people voted, 67% say no. Speaking of those wildfires, a video from Collins north of Sudbury show a train being surrounded by wildfire. Please take a look at this. CN Rail says the crew was able to make it off the train safely, but the train itself remains on the tracks. Freight trains using the corridor have been stopped and staged near Collins. Police say those trains were carrying combustible and flammable materials. Now, these satellite images offer a view of the wildfire smoke. As of Monday, there were 160 active wildfires in the province. A handful of communities in northwestern Ontario are currently under evacuation orders. Back here in Windsor, police say someone is playing a dangerous game with passenger trains. Windsor police are investigating dangerous incidents along the city's rail corridor after people repeatedly left large debris on the tracks, including couches, mattresses, and other junk. Since January, there have reportedly been 12 cases, most happening between 9 and 10 p.m. at night on the tracks from George Avenue to Paulette Road. Police say the obstructions have delayed trains, threatening to cause a derailment. 2 people were recorded on video throwing rocks through a moving Via Rail train window in April, and a fire was set on the tracks in June. Anyone with information or security, dash cam or cell phone video is encouraged to contact Windsor Police or Crime Stoppers. In other news, a $13 million cross-border cocaine case has been thrown out by a Windsor judge who found the truck driver's charter rights were repeatedly violated by border officers.
The courts cannot condone these types of egregious charter violations. So, Mr.
Rafiq Qadsi represents Harinder Saini, who was charged after police alleged they found $13 million worth of cocaine hidden in his transport trailer. That case never went to trial. The judge found border officers violated Saini's charter rights 7 times, including subjecting him to a fully naked strip search without lawful grounds or proper supervision approval. The decision also found his right to counsel and his right against self-incrimination were breached before the drugs were even discovered.
Regardless of the nature of the charge itself, regardless of how serious the charge is, our charter rights are paramount, and the courts are here to protect our charter rights. Where there are violations, there will be appropriate remedies. So in short, we were happy, and I think everybody should be happy that the court did the right thing.
The 38-page ruling also sharply criticizes the Canada Border Services Agency policies at the time. You can read our full breakdown of that decision at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Now, a giant rubber duck floated into the Detroit River on Wednesday to celebrate Jeep's 85th anniversary, drawing crowds to Windsor's waterfront. But with the Gordie Howe International Bridge set to open in less than 2 weeks, the event also became an opportunity to talk about what the new crossing will mean for the region and the questions that remain about the agreement behind it. Here's CTV's Chris Campbell.
A 40-foot yellow rubber duck may have been the star of the show along Windsor's waterfront today, but with the Gordie Howe International Bridge now set to open July 27th, it didn't take long for the conversation to shift to another landmark rising over the Detroit River.
This is a major trade artery between two giant trading partners, and Canadian, it's our most important trading partner. Making sure that we have back and forth access that allows for the smooth flow of goods is incredibly important. We're excited about the infrastructure opening.
The Jeep celebration marked the brand's 85th anniversary, with Stellantis choosing the Great Canadian flag in front of its Canadian headquarters in Windsor to celebrate a uniquely Canadian tradition known as Jeep ducking. But for many attending, the bridge opening is another milestone they're looking forward to.
I don't even know when I'm going to go over across there, but I'm excited. That'll be fun.
The Bridge Authority has also released a new detail ahead of opening day. While motorists and commercial traffic will be able to use the bridge beginning July 27th, pedestrians and cyclists will have to wait until August 5th for the multi-use path to open.
That I would be interested in riding the bike over.
The bridge's opening comes as some politicians continue to press the federal government for more information about the Canada-U.S. agreement announced late last week.
What Canadians really need to know is just tell us what the agreement is. Just show us what the agreement is.
Essex MP Chris Lewis says he supports opening the bridge, but wants Ottawa to publicly release the agreement before the crossing opens.
Just tell us what's in the agreement. If there's nothing to hide, then just show it to us.
With the countdown now underway, the giant duck may only be visiting for a day, but Windsor's newest international crossing is just days away from welcoming its first drivers. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Now let's go back to that gigantic rubber duck for a moment. As Chris mentioned, a giant 40-foot rubber duck floated in the Detroit River as Jeep Canada marked the brand's 85th anniversary. The event featured current and classic Jeep models, live music and giveaways, including commemorative rubber ducks for the first 1,000 visitors. The celebration also highlighted the Canadian roots of the popular Jeep ducking tradition, where owners leave rubber ducks on one another's vehicles as a friendly gesture that has since spread around the world.
During the COVID timeframe, a Canadian just east of the GTA came up with this, I would say, gracious custom. It's gone not only across Canada, but globally. It's become connected and synonymous with Jeeps overall. And so we're celebrating it here today, and this is a uniquely Canadian piece of Jeep heritage.
Now, did you stop by to see the duck? Well, send us a pic. You can also send videos too if you see news in your neighborhood. Text us at 10400. Also tonight, drivers are feeling more pain at the pumps today, and it appears another price increase is on the way. Gas prices went up 8 cents overnight, meaning the average price in Windsor is just under $1.73. Another 2-cent increase is expected tonight. The rising prices are linked to the renewed violence between the U.S. and Iran in the Middle East. A Windsor manufacturer is expanding with help from the province. Hawk Plastics is investing nearly $1.7 million to modernize its Windsor facility on Outer Drive. The province is contributing just over $250,000 towards the project, which the company says will create 16 new jobs. The upgrade includes a new injection molding press, along with infrastructure improvements designed to boost production, reduce the need to outsource outsource work and allow the company to launch a new product line. Speaking of the provincial government and money, the Ford government is planning to eliminate a rule that allows Toronto area MPPs to expense hotel stays in the city under special circumstances. This after several ministers faced a backlash for billing thousands of dollars in Toronto hotel stays despite representing ridings in the GTA. Here's CTV's Siobhan Morris.
With hotel bills from several government MPPs shooting past $100,000, the government House leader has moved to eliminate the rule that made them possible. It was intended to help members who live close to Queen's Park in an emergency, like a snowstorm. The opposition leader insists a rule change doesn't undo the past.
These members just simply saw that policy. They understood what it was for. All of us do as MPPs. And they chose to abuse it.
It's an exciting time in Ontario.
Public records show the parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Transportation racked up the biggest bill since 2023. Hardeep Grewal, who represents Brampton East, billed taxpayers for over $27,000. Nina Tangri from Mississauga Streetsville had almost $19,000. And Charmaine Williams of Brampton Centre has been repaid close to $16,000. We told you yesterday the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Gaming was paying back $16,000 in hotel bills, including $6,000 in just a month.
There's no excuse for this behavior. And again, I'm happy if they prove me wrong. Show us the receipts.
The Liberals say they're willing to work with the government on eliminating the rule, but previous bills have to be explained.
This motion is really an attempt to bury something that the taxpayers absolutely have a right to know about.
Stefanie Bowman suggests the Auditor General or Integrity Commissioner may need to weigh in.
I mean, I'm a chartered accountant by background. I would say that this kind of policy is rife for abuse because it is not specific enough about when it is allowed to be used.
Well, who could ever have thought this was a good idea?
Former Ontario PC leader and Toronto Mayor John Tory says all the rules about MPP expenses may need a second look.
It isn't just about partisan damage, it's about damage in the institution and damage in elected representatives. And I'm a great believer in the good the system can do and in the goodness of the people who are in it, and this doesn't help.
A spokesperson for the Premier says any expense that did not meet the intent of the rules will be reimbursed to the legislature in full. But she offered no explanation of who would make that call or how. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Spoiler alert for last night's episode of The Amazing Race Canada. Windsor's team is still very much in it despite an early scare. Amin and Soraya made it through another leg after using their express pass earlier than planned to overcome a tough sit-ski challenge. The Windsor duo battled back, finishing 4th at the pit stop, good enough to easily stay in the competition, while Maestro Fresh West and Dio became the season's first team eliminated.
Oh man, like that screams Canadian.
Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, they may soon be grounded, but the Snowbirds took flight one more time, while hundreds turned out for what could be a final farewell.
It can contaminate water or fresh fruits and vegetables.
What Ontario experts say you need to know about that parasite spreading through produce and why washing your fruits and veggies may not be enough. Tomorrow, an airline strike could disrupt thousands of summer vacations. What Windsor travelers need to know, that's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Let's head back to City Hall Square, where Argentina fans are definitely celebrating the hot weather, not stopping the FIFA fun whatsoever. CTV's Michelle Molesky taking it all in. And Michelle, you've obviously spoken to lots of World Cup watchers enjoying this event.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I said last night in the 11 o'clock newscast, I wondered how many people would come out given how hot it is. And it was packed in here. I know it's hard to realize right now. It seems the England fans left just a little bit faster after the game was over, but you're right, Argentina fans are still here celebrating that big semifinal win. And judging by the number of people that were here, of all walks of life, of all ages, in spite of that heat, it is clear to me that Windsor is a soccer city.
Thank you, FIFA, for coming to Windsor! Woo!
My mom said we're going to watch a football game here.
Yeah, it's a bit hot, but I mean, at least it's a nice day in Windsor because a lot of other countries or places don't have this, so it's nice here.
Who are you cheering for today?
Argentina.
Why?
It's the best team in the world. So I just liked it my whole life, you know, and Messi's the best. Vamos!
Who are you cheering for?
Team Canada, come on. We gotta keep going. Keep pushing. What?
Even though
they're out, I still love Team Canada. I will keep, with that love, I will keep enjoying it. Let's go Team Canada.
And even though Germany's not in it, you came out here with your whole family today.
Absolutely, yeah. And everybody is against me. They are Brazil fan, and yeah. But I don't care, you know what? I'm stronger than them. Who cares?
Messi is my second favorite player.
Your second favorite? Who's your first?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Good choice.
Watches his cross.
Just enjoying everything because like the view and everything is so good. I like everyone, and I'm just playing games and stuff.
Obviously, England was very excited early on in this thing, but Argentina did what they always do, and they took the win in the end. So congratulations to them going on to the finals. But hey, FIFA in Windsor isn't done yet. This event is on here at City Hall Square until 8 o'clock tonight. Coming up later in the newscast, I'm going to bring in someone from TWEPI just to get their thoughts on how this all came together and what they thought about the result of this. Obviously, we all know this is our beautiful new space here in downtown Windsor. Curious what the folks from around the world think about having visited here in the Rose City. But for now, though, Stefanie, I'm going to send things back to you in the studio. Stefanie?
Okay, looking forward to it, Michelle. Thank you so much. In other news, the Snowbirds conducted their final fly past in Saskatchewan yesterday before heading further west to be grounded. CTV's Allison Bamford has more on this historic goodbye.
A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Tyler Spicer.
This might be the last time I'll see it, first and last.
And after watching the Canadian Snowbirds fly over Saskatoon for the first time, the 16-year-old was almost speechless.
I don't have much words to describe how neat it is to be here today.
Hundreds lined the tarmac to catch what could be their final glimpse of the iconic Tudor jets.
Oh man, like that screams Canadian.
The quick flyover captivated crowds before a landing that allowed spectators to see the jets up close.
Thanks for coming to see us, guys.
And meet the pilots in person.
And I actually get to shake their hands this time, which is really cool.
It's going to suck not having an aerobatic team for the next couple of years.
In May, Ottawa announced the Snowbirds will be temporarily grounded after the 2026 season until the fleet of aging Tudor jets is replaced with a new aircraft.
It was something I saw growing up, and it was really important that we brought our kids out to see it too.
It was just amazing. The experience was great, everything. It's so sad that honestly the government's shutting them down.
A sentiment echoed across the ages. Spectators here signing postcards addressed to the Prime Minister as part of a campaign to keep the Snowbirds flying.
We're just trying to get the Government of Canada and the Minister of National Defence to reconsider their decision.
This was just a fuel stop for the Snowbirds on their way to Alberta for more scheduled events. No more events are slated for their home province here in Saskatchewan.
I'm just sad to see it go.
And for many, this is the final wave goodbye to a national symbol. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
In the Middle East, the Americans carried out a new wave of strikes against Iran today. The Americans say the strikes were designed to further degrade Iran's capability to attack commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. has now also reimposed a naval blockade of Iranian ports. The latest military action followed a threat from the U.S. president last night.
We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Industry sources say shipping companies are avoiding using a U.S. military-guided transit scheme through the crucial energy corridor after a series of Iranian attacks on vessels late yesterday. The United States hit dozens of military targets. In other news, the Bank of Canada is watching international factors like the Middle East and tariffs as it keeps to a steady as she goes approach, with the trend setting bank rates remaining at 2.25% for the sixth consecutive time. But the bank's governor also revealed a sense of optimism. CTV's Judy Trin tells us what's behind the approach and the more positive outlook.
Economic growth looks to have resumed in Canada.
The Bank of Canada is holding its key policy rate at 2.25% after the economy showed signs of a rebound.
While U.S. trade policy continues to be a headwind, consumers have been resilient and businesses are adapting.
Despite uncertainty surrounding the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement, the central bank's governor says businesses are finding new markets and exporting more.
Business sentiment in general, consumer confidence is slowly rising. Consumer spending is maintained.
The Canadian economy has remained flat since January 2025, but this quarter it's expected to grow, but only by 0.7%.
April GDP was largely, which grew quite strongly, was largely almost all accounted for by oil and gas. But there were some small growth registering amongst a wide range of sectors.
The biggest risk to growth globally is the shattering of the Iran-U.S. ceasefire. The war on the waterway puts a chokehold on 20% of the world's supply of oil and gas that goes through the Strait of Hormuz. Inflation in Canada currently sits at 3%.
Inflation in Canada is poised to ease, provided global oil prices decline from elevated levels. And third, uncertainty remains high.
Tiff Macklem is also crediting Canadian consumers for propping up the economy. While the population is shrinking, consumer spending has remained steady. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
On the markets, the TSX gained 96 points today. The Dow added 150. The Nasdaq is up 162. The Canadian dollar gained almost 1/10 of a cent today. Gold gained nearly $18 an ounce, and oil is up 26 cents a barrel. Could the days be numbered for a time change? The step forward for a stateside push for permanent daylight savings time, it's gaining momentum. Carrie joins me again live from the FIFA fan event at City Hall Square for an extended look at the weather. And Gary, I'm hoping you have a towel to wipe off that sweat.
Well, I'm in the shade, blocked by a pole here. It's more about the kids running through the fountains in the mini water park here who are getting drenched and having a wonderful time. I'm living vicariously through 2, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. They look like they're having a ball. But for the rest of us, a heat warning is still in place, obviously. And Humidex values are making it feel like the low to mid 40s today. Tomorrow a bit cooler, but the wildfire smoke, that's really the big story beyond the heat. The air quality is poor. It's in that medium to high range now. It will be in the high to extreme tomorrow and perhaps 48 hours from this point. And we're talking about high quality, or pardon me, high content of smoke, fine particulate matter, and other aerosols. The temperature is still in the mid-30s for the most part throughout southwestern Ontario, and it feels anywhere from about 43 up. And that's going to be the story for the next little while. Still hot through to midnight, just like last night, where it was 27 at midnight, and it felt like about 35 to 37 between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent. We are protected by a ridge of high pressure for the most part, but if you look around, The clouds moving out of the northwest, that particular wind profile is responsible for drawing or funneling all of that wildfire smoke from neighborhoods and areas, constituencies in northwestern and northern central Ontario where they are battling for their lives, really, and livelihoods. The air quality still an issue, as I mentioned, as we speak through the overnight. There is a slight risk of thunderstorm activity. We're still looking at humidex values near 30 through 10 p.m. By midnight, northwesterlies very light, and again infiltrating our airspace, reinforcing that widespread smoke. 24 feels like 27 at midnight. Tomorrow, 32, widespread smoke. Air quality is likely to be extremely poor. Not likely to see any showers until maybe Friday, Saturday. And the rainfall is required and appreciated. A lot of growers, and certainly anyone who's got a garden full of vegetables, is dealing with a tough time to keep things hydrated. Temperatures do fall next week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday will be 28, 28, and then 22. So we look forward to a cooling a week from now. Stefanie?
Okay, Gary, stay cool, stay in the shade. Thank you. Health officials in Ontario are keeping a close eye on the spread of an illness linked to contaminated food, which has made thousands of people sick just across the river in Michigan. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has more.
Whether it's a leafy green or summer berries, washing your produce seems like standard procedure. But even a thorough rinse can't compete with a microscopic parasite causing major problems. It's called Cyclospora, and it's spreading rapidly across the United States.
It can contaminate water or fresh fruits and vegetables when that human feces becomes in contact with those items, typically through contaminated irrigation water.
The bug is usually found in subtropical regions like South America, Asia, the Caribbean, and Africa. Common culprits include lettuce, cilantro, basil, green onions, raspberries, and snow peas, to name a few.
Particularly those that have non-smooth surfaces, so things with nooks and crannies.
You wouldn't be able to tell if it landed on your plate, and the good news is the infection isn't deadly. But symptoms similar to other foodborne illnesses can show up within a couple of days and last a couple of months.
Mostly people complain about fairly severe, sometimes explosive diarrhea, and that can make people very ill.
Here in Canada, it's not uncommon to see a handful of cyclosporiasis cases every year. While health officials are closely monitoring the situation north and south of the border, they're also urging travelers to stay safe.
If you're going into the U.S. right now, to avoid uncooked fruit and vegetables.
Choose instead fresh fruits that have smooth surfaces, things like grapes, or perhaps rinds that could be peeled.
With the outbreak happening in the U.S. and still no root cause, health officials here say this could be another reason to buy locally grown fruits and vegetables to prevent the chance of picking up that parasite from imported produce. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
And in the United States, the House of Representatives has voted to keep the U.S. on daylight savings time year-round. Now the bill will head to the Senate for approval. Critics say it could have negative economic consequences, especially for farmers. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, many states are ready to embrace the shift. 19 states have enacted legislation to switch to year-round daylight savings time if Congress allows it. But the bill also allows states to opt out.
Check out the beautiful approach from today's Unico Primo Junior Golf Tour at Essex. I'll tell you who shot that one and have results for you. On the Sidelines is next. Stay tuned.
We are on the sidelines with Bob Belichico tonight, starting with junior golf at beautiful Essex Golf and Country Club. Bob.
Yeah, beautiful if you like hot and sticky. Ugh, yeah, it was hot and sticky for sure, but some good golf at Essex today. Let's start off with this awesome shot by Ella Harris. Check it out. From 150 yards out, watch this thing just sail onto the green. She gets a nice bounce. The ball lands pretty much right next to the cup for an easy tap-in. Shot of the day, no doubt. She finished with a 77 on the day. Today's winner, though, despite boarding the bogey train for 5 holes, was Cassandra Rombouts. The Florence, Ontario golfer shot a 74 to win her 3rd event of the season. Last year's Tour champ, Madeleine Beck, finished 2nd with a 76. In her last year of junior golf, Rombouts wants to go out a champ.
I go into every tournament wanting to shoot the lowest round. I want to beat the golf course. And then if I pull in a win, I pull in the win, but definitely want to win the Tour. It's my last year of junior golf before I head off to university in August.
That girl's on fire right now. Now on the boys' side, it was Noah Mingay coming out on top after shooting a 70. Finley Burns was 1 shot behind at 71, and Noah Turner finished 3rd with a 72. Today's win moves Mingay up to 5th in the overall standings. Burns is at the top, followed by Turner.
It's always good being in the lead, but I don't know. I can't say I've been in this position too often, so I mean, it's not really an uncomfortable spot, but it's just where I'm at. I'm just focused on playing the best golf I can at 1 shot at a time, and that's pretty much it.
And enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly. Having fun out there, and that's all that matters.
Somebody who had fun was Josh Chicarlo of Point West last week. He finished the Ontario Golf Men's Championship, dropping a hole-in-one on the final day, finishing with a 67. He went from 15th to 5th.
Incredible.
That's how he finished. It was awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, moving to the track, the University of Windsor hosted a big track meet last weekend, and a few local runners did quite well. Yeah, it was a pretty good showing last week. Mael Dufour from Windsor Legion won the 2,000-meter steeplechase. She loves that event. John Franco Rowdy set a couple of PBs. One in the 15, the other in the 3,000. And New Chan convincingly won the 800. And for me, the race that blew me away while I was there was the men's 3,000. Now, this was definitely a grinded-out kind of race. At one point, there were 3 lead changes during a 100-meter stretch with 3 laps to go. Now, Brendan Curry of Wind City Endurance Project was 3rd during that lap when he just decided, yeah, I think I'm done hanging out with the gang here. So he kicked with over 2 laps to go. Like, who does that? I don't know, but he did. He opened up a lead that no one could make up, and he could just cruise to victory. Brendan tells me that this summer has been a great one, leaving him optimistic heading into the cross-country season with St. Clair this fall.
Indoor season, I was quite a bit slower, and then now, I don't know what happened. I just got pretty good outdoors, so now I'm going to try to, for St. Clair, I'm going to try to build a big base and see if I can win Canadians this year. So last year I was 13th, I think, so this year I'm going to try to win. I'm a lot more fit than I was last year, so I'm excited.
Like, who does that? It just takes off with 2 laps to go.
I know, incredible. Okay, in a big fight night in South Windsor last week, and the hometown boy, TJ Laramie, he did not disappoint.
Oh, no, it was awesome. A packed house there for sure. Now, for those of you who are there, you'll understand what I'm about to say. It was a long wait to get to the main event, but definitely well worth it. That's TJ Laramie closing out his match against Jesus Rue of Argentina. The match was Laramie's from the get-go. The MTC Windsor fighter took to the ground right away. A fighter told me while we were hanging out, you expend more energy while you were fighting from the top. So I was surprised when Laramie went for the takedown early in the 2nd round. He was confident in his strategy and was able to unleash on Rue for the victory.
I just honestly feel like my game is so good where I'm at, like on the ground, on the top control, ground and pound, that it doesn't really matter other people's strategy, that I feel like I can control and dominate no matter who it is. You know, I think a big league's probably next, but in the short term, I'm getting married in October, so, you know, get back to work and figure it out.
We wish him all the best. Now, here's a goodie for you. The Windsor Wildcats U15 softball team was overlooked until they weren't anymore. They are heading to nationals after surprising everyone in their league, including themselves. Now, here's a fact. They went to practice yesterday, and one player told me that the shock still lingers. Now, it's not that they had a bad season. Other teams were doing big things. For example, in the championship tournament, Stratford's Shakespeare Falcons put a beatdown on the Wildcats 12-2 in one of the games. The Cats fought their way through the tournament and ended up beating the same Falcons team 5-3 in a winner-take-all game. They are now heading to New Brunswick at the end of the month for nationals.
We're much stronger at practice, and we have much more confidence in ourselves that we can do bigger things than we had before, because we started off our season not very well. So I think we keep building up, and this gave us a lot of confidence.
Wow, 12-2 and then 5-3, incredible.
You never know. That's why you play the games.
Exactly. Now you're shifting the spotlight to one of the people in our sports community whose work behind the scenes contributes largely to the success of athletes here.
Yeah, you know, Ted Merritt is one of those unsung heroes at the Windsor Lawn Bowling Club. Now, he's not only a provincial level bowler, but he's also a provincially recognized greenskeeper as well now. Ted was presented with the Greenskeeper of the Year Award for 2025 by the Ontario Lawn Bowls Association last weekend when the club hosted the Provincial Men's Pairs Championship. Now, Ted gets up early in the day, spends about 2 to 4 hours a day grooming the greens. He has a staff of 10 people with 2 different people helping him every day. That's dedication right there. Now, Ted says he learned a lot from former greenskeeper and good friend and fellow bowler, Don Caswell.
It starts with great greens. If you don't have great greens, you wouldn't have an event such as what we have here today. And so I was just was able to learn from him. And out of 150, 100 to 150 greenskeepers, it's really an honor and a privilege to receive this award.
Bravo to Ted.
I didn't know you can win an award like that, so congrats.
The unsung heroes.
Okay, that's all we have for tonight on the Sidelines with Bob Belichico. Thank you, Bob.
You got it.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Sunday, July 26, you're invited to run with responders along Windsor Riverfront Trail. Police, fire, and EMS vehicles will line the route honoring our first responders. See you next time on Our Community.
What do you say we take another trip downtown where World Cup fans, friends, and families are all taking in that official FIFA event? CTV's Michelle Molesky is there. Michelle, you're learning more about just how much planning goes into an event like this.
Yeah, absolutely, Stephanie. And this is one of those times where I decided to bring in the expert, the big guns, Gordie Howe, CEO of TWEPI, to help me answer that question. How did all of this come about?
Well, Michelle, it came about because we have relationships and we know people that are in the FIFA office, Canada office, and they know us and they know we deliver. And they approached us over a year ago and told us that they were going to be doing this Canada Celebrates Caravan. And we put in a proposal. They loved it, but they loved it because of spaces like this. This is what we pitched to them. This sort of space, this sort of talent, and our reputation and roster of events speak for themselves.
And I've noticed a lot of familiar faces. The folks from Windsor Eats are here. It's a local DJ that's doing that. Is that intentional? Is that on purpose? Is that part of Windsor's pitch?
It's intentional and it's part of our pitch. You know, certainly Mayor Dilkins and Windsor City Council this year have invested $500,000 of our municipal accommodation tax into supporting local events. This event wasn't part of that, but it fits right into that idea of local staycationing here in Windsor, Essex, knowing what's in your own backyard. And again, all of this was free for families to come and celebrate today.
And such a great event, and that leads me to my last question. Did you have expectations in the beginning, a year ago? And then did you have expectations when you saw the heat wave? Were you worried?
We were more worried about the rain, actually, you know, because I stay in air conditioning most of the time and then they prop me up for TV. But no, this has been wonderful. We had expectations and we were hoping it was going to, the plaza, the whole square here at City Hall was going to be packed, and it was today. And you could just feel a positive vibe. And it's great that the community is able to come out and celebrate each other.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. And Gord, congratulations to you and everyone at TWEPI and everyone with the City of Windsor. I agree, this was a great location to host an event like this. How exciting. Yeah, so Stephanie, there you heard it from the source, from the expert about how all of this happened. And now we can say Windsor has hosted a FIFA World Cup event.
A successful event, 1 year in the making. Okay, thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Michelle. A tiny new arrival is stealing hearts at the Detroit Zoo, and she's already making history. Canadian pro wrestling is making a rare return to national television, and it starts in Windsor.
The crowd wants to see another one, and
The new series MLP Mayhem was taped at St. Clair College earlier this year, featuring Canadian stars alongside international known wrestlers. It is the first time in nearly 4 decades a Canadian wrestling promotion has landed a weekly national TV slot. The series makes its debut tonight at midnight on TSN2. Meteorologist Gary Archibald joining us right now from FIFA World Fever for one last look at the weather. Gary.
Well, it's hot, and thanks to the sun, the combination of heat, obviously humidity, that moisture content at the atmosphere, and the smoke from the wildfires, it's tough to be outside, but you can enjoy yourself. Just need to take it easy. One more look at our 7-day forecast, courtesy of Intercare Siles. We're still looking at widespread smoke for tomorrow. It will feel like about 35 to 40 in the afternoon. Then we're into some showers Friday and Saturday potentially. The good news is by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, we are looking at more seasonal values. 28 would be a high. We could be 22 degrees for a high a week from now. Stefanie?
Okay, take advantage of that water feature if you can. Okay, and finally tonight there's a brand new little VIP at the Detroit Zoo. The zoo has welcomed a baby western lowland gorilla, a healthy little girl born Sunday. It's just the second gorilla birth in the zoo's history. For now, mom and dad are bonding behind the scenes, so visitors will have to wait a little longer to meet the zoo's newest star. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca. We will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11. Stay cool out there.